What's up, everyone? Jared Sandler here with our Rangers recap. The Rangers fall to the Royals by a score of 11-4 here in the second game of the season. So the Rangers dropped to 0-2, and well, obviously the Royals improved to 2-0. Got some information for you, or some observations, excuse me, and some information. We got the good, we got the bad, and then got some stats that hopefully you'll find interesting. Let's start with the good. The two-strike hitting. The Rangers continue to compete well with two strikes. I know it was maybe a little more front-loaded today. They didn't maybe have the same sort of offensive outbursts that they did on Thursday, but they still continue to compete with two strikes. I also think the Rangers' production against left-handed pitching from left-handed hitters is important, especially if they're going to have three left-handed hitters who figure to be an important part of their production this year in Gallo, Dahl, and Nate Lowe. And all three of those guys had hits in the early going against Mike Minor. Gallo and Lowe had 2 RBI hits, with Gallo's being a home run. Dahl had an extra base hit. So the left-on-left production is going to be important for the Rangers. And that's not even to consider Willie Calhoun, who's hurt and who figures to be a part of the equation as well. I thought Kohei Arihara looked really good in his major league debut. The line's a little deceiving because Leody Taveras lost a fly ball in the sun that turned into a triple. It should have been a routine out, and that led to I guess a 3-run bottom of the fifth. There were mistakes that Kohei Arihara made, no doubt, but that line probably looks a little different if Leody Taveras is able to secure that fly ball. I thought he looked good, though. It seemed like everything was moving for Arihara. He was throwing all his pitches. He's got, 7 pitches if you include all the different fastballs. He was getting outs on a lot of them. So really encouraging first start for Kohei Arihara. Again, as we've talked about, I expect him to do well to start the year. As the league starts to get a book on him, how does he adjust to the adjustments they're inevitably going to make? Another good thing, I thought Charlie Culberson looked really good defensively. Matt Hicks and I talked about it during the spring. This guy's got a really good glove, and he's got a really good glove at a few different spots. Played third today. It was nice to see. Now, speaking of defense, it wasn't all great. Let me take a sip of water here. I really love those Gatorade bottles. I feel like I drink more water out of those than like anything else. Anyway, I didn't think the middle infield defense was particularly outstanding. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa didn't do anything wrong. As a matter of fact, the only reason I guess I include him in this is there was a relay at the plate in which the throw from left field, Eli White to Isaiah Kiner-Falefa to the plate. Izzy's throw home was a little weak, and he's got an average arm. He's got a great glove. His arm at shortstop is average. He makes up for it in other ways, but it was just an observation there that throw was that throw was a little bit on the weaker side. What really led me to want to discuss this was Nick Solak. The reason why he was initially moved off of second was because second base was not really a strength for him defensively. And I think, he's going to get there. It's not going to happen overnight. I know he's played second before. It's not like it's a totally new position. My one observation when watching him, it looks like he plays the position a little slowly. And he's an athletic guy. He's a guy with great baseball instincts. But whether it's just sitting back on a ground ball or just some of the movements around the bag, that's something that I want to see him improve upon as the season progresses. You're also watching a team that is missing its top 4 relievers and the effects of that, right? You got guys coming in spots that maybe you normally would not have them in if you had Hernandez, Leclerc, Rodriguez, Martin healthy, or just 2 of those 4. Putting Josh Sborz and Brett DeGuss in these situations as opposed to easing them in. But Woody has no choice. And so I think you're seeing the effects of that. Side note, Matt Bush gave up a home run, but it was nice to see him pitch. His story just to make the majors was incredible as a comeback story. But his return from the injuries is super impressive as well. And then the other thing, first time in franchise history, the Rangers have allowed 10 or more runs in the first 2 games. That's just one of a few stats I want to share with you guys. Some other ones worth noting, and some of them are positive, like this. Joey Gallo with his 29th home run off of a left-handed pitcher. That's the most by any left-handed batter against a left-handed pitcher since 2018. Bryce Harper with 28. Bellinger and Yelich with 27, Blackman with 26. The Rangers, by the way, this is the most inexperienced team ever to start the season. Their opening day lineup featured 5 guys who'd appeared in 100 or fewer games, the most in team history. Since the move from Washington, the Rangers had never started more than 3 such guys on opening day. Joey Gallo has 4 walks through the team's first 2 games. The club record for walks over the first 3 games is 6, set by Mark McLemore in 96. Gallo's 2 walks in the first 2 games makes him the 4th batter in club history with multiple walks in each of the Rangers' first 2 games of the season. The others are McLemore in that 96 season, Rusty Greer in that 96 season, and Milton Bradley in 08. Nate Lowe's 6 RBIs, a club record for the team's first 2 games of a season. He's also the first Rangers batter to drive in 2 or more runs in the first 2 games of a season since Otis Nixon. The others who have done it, Will Clark and Al Oliver. There you go. That's our Rangers recap. Hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you later.